Okay. Hopefully we're okay this time. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if everything's okay. I don't know what happened. I didn't change any settings from yesterday. I don't know what happened. So let me know if you can hear me. Say yes, or we can hear you, or something like that. And then we can move on with the show. This needs to be because I need this to work because someone needs to. I got you, Amanda. Trust me, I got you. Okay, good. You can hear me. All right, here we go. So, and I am going to add you. I need to move somebody off my friends list. So I have to Facebook. I don't like that 5,000 friend cap. So just sometimes, you want to add someone and you can't. So I will move somebody. So no need to tell you. I know who you are. I'm going to add you. All right. So anyway, let's go on with the show. I hope you guys are doing well. You couldn't hear me last time, but I'm here now. I didn't change anything from yesterday. I swear I kept everything the same. The only thing that's different is my background because I'm celebrating Black History Month. So the background is here. So I hope you guys like my background. I try to change it up. I don't like to keep everything the same. I'll switch it up on you every now and then. But I know why you're here. You're here for Preachers Going Wild. And I know you're here for Preachers Going Wild. Why? Because I'm here for Preachers Going Wild. I wasn't planning on doing 2 in a row. I promise you I wasn't. I was not planning on doing 2 in a row. But for some reason, someone sent me this video and I said, I am not touching it. I said, I'm not touching this. No, let that man have his happiness. But when I actually got around to watching the video, I said, Lord, me and my crew, the D crew, we're going to handle this, right? D crew, you with me? Say yes, we are with you. Okay. But before then, somebody sent me already. Listen. How is it that we have Preachers Going Wild 2 nights in a row? Everybody, could you please tell me? Can I get a amen? This has to be a first. We have Preachers Going Wild 2 nights in a row. 2 nights in a row. So here we go. So those of you who we've been in church our whole life, we know preachers, sometimes pastors get upset with us. And they also say, they fuss at you for every little thing. Sit down while I'm talking. Sit down while I'm preaching. You're too loud in my ears. Everything we hear from preachers, right? But I guarantee you, you've never heard a preacher yell at you for going to get food. Close the door. Close the door of the kitchen and don't pass out no more plates until after church. Shut the door and don't pass out no more plates, kitchen until after. Can somebody please tell me what that was? Why was he so upset about the chicken biscuit, fish and biscuit dinners? What could have happened in the church that let him snap like that? Close the door of the kitchen. Don't serve nothing else. Can somebody please help me out? I don't understand what that was about. Why would you get and I don't think they understand everything you do is going to find its way on the internet. The internet is undefeated. It's like 145 million and it's undefeated. They will post it. People will roast you for doing something like what you just did. So somebody please explain that to me. Everybody was walking out of their service. Listen, if it was me, I'm going to get my food, especially if I've been sitting there for 2 hours. While I was up playing and sweating, you was upstairs or downstairs or wherever you may be, you was doing what you were doing. So I need to go eat. If that service started at 12, at 3 o'clock, and you still up there want to talk through your extremely long, drawn-out sermon, I'm going to get something to eat. And I wish. Now, I'm not a chankster. I'm not a gangster. But if I'm hungry, I won't be stopped. I will not be stopped. I don't understand. Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying they didn't serve food during the service, that was the issue. I think the issue was maybe they were walking out when he was talking. Maybe that's what happened. I'm just guessing because now y'all gonna call me crazy, but I dream of a church where you come into service. Right? I'm the pastor. You come into service and you thinking you about to have regular church and you look in the sanctuary, which I would never call a sanctuary, but the place where we worship, the place where we normally would gather. If I was pastor, I would do like the pastor where I serve. He has chairs, so he can move it. He can add chairs. He can take chairs out. He can move them around or whatever. So I would have the same thing. You would come upstairs. probably around 9 o'clock for service. You thinking you about to have a Holy Ghost time, but then you look and you see food. You see breakfast, you see food, you see people ready to serve you. Because with me, that would be my service. We would fellowship, we would sing songs. It'd be like a prayer breakfast. See, we always have prayer breakfasts at special occasions. I would have prayer breakfasts just because. We would have meals together where we break bread and sing songs. It'd be like a prayer breakfast. I mean, that is something unique or whatever, but I'm more or less into the fellowship. I remember the days when I was growing up in Church Guy in Christ, we would go downstairs and have meals. We would have food and some kids would be all together. It was a fellowship that we have that I don't think we have today. So as far as the food being served, I don't have a problem with that. I believe we should break bread together. I want to know what happened and made him get upset. Maybe they were walking out while he was preaching. We don't know. But he was mad, and he was big mad. He was ready to fight. All the while, everybody else was looking like, what's going on with this dude? So, I don't know. Let's move on. The next one, and I'm glad you do that, Scylla. I believe that that's what we need to do. I believe in fellowship. I believe we are kind of disconnected. And I think that's why even when the stuff I was talking about yesterday and how it relates to wearing the hats in church and everything, I think it kind of flew over people's head because we are a rebellious generation anyway. So I'm getting off, but I'm going to come back. We're a rebellious generation. We do what we want to do. We just be like, here, God, take our praise. This is what we are right now. I don't want to argue, but I just want us to go back to at least the fellowshipping part. I feel like we are so caught up in bless me and mine and me and me and me till we lost that aspect of being a believer. What are you saying? Fellowship. You know what? Exactly. You could smell the food. You knew it was about to be one. But at the end of the day, I was happy because I get to see my cousins, my friends at church. I still remember them to this day, even though some of them I haven't seen in years, but I still remember them because of the many times that we fellowship. And it was, with many people together, you're going to have some issues. But I did enjoy the fellowship. And I think we lost that. I think we lost that in church. I really do. I think that's the one thing we lost is that fellowship. Everybody's trying to get something from God, trying to get prophesied to, and then they get in their car and go home. Or except for they clicks. Pause. But y'all know what I mean. And I don't know. Just for me. Maybe y'all think differently, but I'm that's where I'm at with it. Okay? Fellowship is important for me. Okay? Let's move on. Next one. I hope, D Crew, I hope you guys are sitting down. Somebody sent me this video and it messed me up to the likes of which I'll never return. Oh, y'all probably wondering why I'm going live. I don't have to work tomorrow. We snowed in for the next couple of days. Thank you, God. I needed the rest. But anyway, let's keep going. I've never seen any. Have y'all noticed that I've been flabbergasted every time we do these things? We're in Preachers Going Wild number 13. And I keep saying I've never seen anything like this. But it just continues, it continues to happen. This one, I hope you are sitting down. I really do. You ready? Here we go. Wait, let me stop real quick. I don't know what that is. We're going to get to it. If you are going to do a video, just a little hint, don't do portrait, do landscape, okay? Turn the phone. Landscape is better for videos. We don't want to be squinting our eyes to look like we're an alien to watch your videos. That's just a little tip. Quick tip. Okay, let's go. I shall wear a crown. I shall wear a crown. Will everybody please stand? When is God, oh,
When it's all over, I shall wear a crown, Lord. I shall wear a crown. Oh, go ahead, Doc. When it's all over, oh Lord. Yes, Lord. When it's all over, I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story how I made it over. All right. She's going to put on my robe, tell the story how she made it over. Let's go, Sam. I shall wear my crown. I shall wear my crown. Yes, yes. Go ahead. Lord, yes, yes. Oh, Lord. It's all over. And she shall be his it's all over. It's all over. She's going to put on the road. Tell the story how she made it.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. Can somebody
help me? Help me!
please, somebody, please, please, please tell me what that was. Number one, I have so many questions. D Crew, y'all gonna help me answer these questions. It got me all tongue tied. I'm so flabbergasted right now. I can't understand what is going on here. And the wing broke. Okay, let's go. Let's try to break this down, D Crew. First things first. Do y'all know do we know what the angels look like? The messengers. Do we know what they look like? Yes or no? I think we get so caught up in Greek folklore. That's all that was. That was Greek right there. So everybody say don't do like the world. We agree. But when you do stuff like this in church, you didn't do the research. Yeah, we do know their wings covered and all of that, but we don't know what all this. Here's the thing. Remember yesterday when we did the exorcism, did I not say that the devil was crafty? Do y'all know, this gonna mess a lot of y'all up, but that's why you here. Did y'all know that somehow they merged sun worship with Christianity? I mean, Christianity is really just a merging of Jewish culture, first century, and sun worship. What was scary about this whole thing was the thing around his head would look like the sunlight. Did you not hear what I just said? They merged sun worship with Jewish, and they came up with this Christianity thing. It's all sun worship. Just that's what it was. Because you look at this stuff and you look at all the bright lights, they worship the sun. Where you think sunrise service come from? You think it came from the tomb? No. It was all sun worship. I have the books. If you want them, just let me know. I have the books. And I'm looking at you doing all this. Those wings didn't look like angel wings. Those look like demon wings to me. They look like demon wings to me. We just allow everything to go on. And the fact that I believe now, please, God, if you hear my plea, let that have been a woman. But I really think that was a man. Now, my radar is kind of broken because I try to give people benefit of doubt because, we got some silverbacks out here. We can't tell with some of you. We just can't tell. These days it's 2022. We can't tell these days with some of you. If that was a man, here's why this made preachers going wild. Had that happened in Miracle Temple Church of God in Christ, the deacons would have tackled him like it was the Super Bowl. There is no way he would have made it down this aisle singing that song. There is no way. He would have got lit up. They would have said and went straight to lunch. They would have took him back in the back. They would have been laying hands on him, spitting all in his face. There is no way he would have made it down that aisle like that. There is no way. Can somebody please tell me how this happened at a funeral? Now, I know we've been in funerals. We done seen some wild stuff happen at funerals all the time. But never would we have even dreamed to do anything like what you just saw. What you just saw was this man rolling down singing. They would have did all that to you. Come on out of here. Come on out of here. Why they go Ikaba? Ikaba always starts it, y'all. The Ikaba. When they go Ikaba, it's the Ikaba. They would have been tearing him up. He'd have left out of there like this. Hey, y'all, what's my name is Leroy right now. I came in here dressed like an angel in drag, but now I'm a man. What's your name, girl? I mean, that would have changed the whole vibe with him. By the time the mothers would have got done with him, he'd have been on something totally different. I promise you. They don't play with that. That's why that mean monkey is up, because their mothers would have been like, you about to get these hands. That blessed oil, y'all, listen, those of you who grew up in church, you knew about the blessed oil hands. Really, you see, it's nothing but olive oil, but it's blessed oil, and they have it on their hands. They be dripping wet like curl juice, and they be like, come here, we're about to pray for you. And when they get that handkerchief, it's always that handkerchief. We're going to have to pray for you. And they flick that handkerchief down, and you better believe them tongues are going to roll, because I don't know what this was. And he walked all down the aisle. Now, having said that, as a musician, I don't know what was worse. His outfit, the fact that it was a man in drag, the music, or his singing. Because the dude on the organ, how you not gonna know this song? How you not gonna know this song? I'm confused on that whole thing. This whole the big, that messed me all up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being silly, but really, we do that here. But at the end of the day, this was pretty bad. And so we always say, people look at the church, they laughing at us. We give them a lot to laugh at, people, because we allow foolishness like that to happen. Somebody should have grabbed that little sheet and spun him around like a top till he flew out their church. But maybe not, because we don't want to see what's under that, do we? I'm good on that. Let's just throw them. I'm going to say throw them out, but just, Apostolic's got this really good. Y'all ever been to an apostolic church, a real traditional apostolic church? They just raise you up. Come in, let's go. Let's go. And this is the good place for your questions, though. I want your questions. I welcome them because I have many. When he came down there, it was like, Brother Rogers is going to sing a solo.
Who?
I'm like, who is this? Because this don't look like no dude. This look like a woman. This look like a straight up man. That's why I had to ask, because we know we got some silverbacks out here. So you have to ask these days. You have to ask. I'm sorry, y'all. Help me out. Now, since we on that, now tell me real quick. By the end of March, just by a number, how many preachers going wild are we going to have? How many preachers going wild are we going to have? We at 13 now. How many you think we're going to end up at? I would say by March, We might end up at 30. What do you think? Yeah, I said silverback. Just give me a number. 100? I don't think we're going to get that far. By March, I say about 25, 30. By March, we got, because I got enough right now to make us through. Man, I could do a Preachers Gone Wild every day if I wanted to. Silverback's Gone Wild, man. That was a silverback. That was a silverback. But let's move on. Now let's get to why you're here. And I'm happy that you're here. It's snowing outside. I will be in a couple of days. I went and got some food, though. Man, listen, if you live in the Chicago area, go get your food now. Because, I'm kind of here alone. It's really, you only feed me, but the stores, they kind of getting bare out there because it's starting to get bad. So if you're watching this and you want to go get some food, I think you should if you live in the Chicago area, because it's about to get really, really bad, like really bad, okay? But anyway, let's go. I know why you're here. So a favorite bishop of ours, he's getting married, y'all. And I like Bishop Noel Jones. And I was going to stay far away from this story. I don't like to talk about, y'all know the D crew here, we talk about issues. We don't necessarily talk about people. It seems like, certain people do get attacked, like Derek Jackson. We don't really care for him too much. And Kevin Samuels, we know we don't care for him too much. But I don't talk about people here. We talk about issues. So I want you to envision this person being just a regular millionaire pastor that we don't know. If you can, maybe you can try. But I like Bishop Noel Jones. But it was something about what I'm going to show you. And we're going to do it like D Crew style. We're going to look at this thing. And I want y'all to be fair. And we're going to look at this thing and we're going to analyze what he said. Y'all ready, D Crew? Let's do this.
I'm telling you today that I'm going to get married. Loretta, come up here, please.
I think he is a millionaire. Let's look. I think he is a millionaire. He might be. Yeah, 5 million. He has a net worth of 5 million. So you could take that off, however you want to take it. He is a millionaire. If you have a net worth of 5 million, that's pretty good. My net worth is probably like 4 beans and a pocket pie. So, he's got more than me. So anyway, this lady, he's been dating her, for 28 years? They've been dating for 28 years. And he's now going to marry her. He calls her up to the stage, right? Let's go.
Now.
Okay, I'm going to answer this. Ask you questions. Ladies, I will be asking questions of you. If you're watching this, ladies, she said he's been dating a while and stringing her along. Could you please explain to me how he's stringing her along? For 28 years? That's not a string along. That's a willing participant. That's not a string along. It's only a string along if he kept telling her, I'm going to marry you, I'm going to marry you, I'm going to marry you. But here's the thing. That's only going to work for a couple of years, maybe 5. She's wasted I wouldn't say wasted, but 28 years? That's not a string along, man. That's a heavy string. What is that, a chain? Is it made of kryptonite? I mean, what kind of chain is this? That he can string somebody along for 28 years? That's some powerful stringing. Or is it his string that kept on long? Oh, let's go. I'm not in love with that hat. I'm just saying.
Now.
that looked like a glorified bonnet. I mean, I'm not going to roast. Let's go.
Now.
Facts. It is.
I thought about, should I? I thought about, should I give up my freedom coat for a straitjacket?
Okay, your freedom coat for a straitjacket. And she smiled. Ladies, watching this show, I know my girl Sharon, she's watching. Would you have let any man say this to you in public? Give up my freedom jacket for a straight jacket or whatever he said. So basically, you had your jacket, you were free. Now you're going to be locked away. Whoa, ladies. Whoa. Yo. There is no way, no woman that I know. Listen, I love my sisters, and I try to get y'all to go a different way as far as that spice. But if ever, not being so overly spicy, but this should have been a Cajun meal right here. There is no way that he should have got up in that mic and said something like, oh, well, I'm going to give up my freedom jacket. Freedom, dude, you 72. What kind of freedom do you have? Then it begs this question. If it's freedom, right, Patrick? He said, if what freedoms were you having? If you are a pastor, what freedoms are you having? And I got to ask this question, and I know y'all going to roast me. Please don't, because y'all know how we do here, D-Crew. You know how we do. 28 years. It leads me to one conclusion. There is no way you going to be with somebody 28 years and
smash.
It's not on the table. I'm just saying. I mean, listen, your boy, God is still working on my mind. I'm not saying I'm out here yanking and banging, but ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to date no chick for 28 years. And I'm just being street when I say chicks. I do acknowledge you as women. I do. I'm just saying chick. I'm just being funny. But there's no way I'm going to be with a woman 28 years and not even taste the cream pie of loveliness. There is no way. There is no way. So I don't know. I mean, tell me what y'all think, D-Crew. Do y'all think this is something? Am I making more of it? 28 years? And there is no flogging? There is no mashing? There is no cherry blending? There is nothing? I don't know.
I thought about, should I, at my age, get married to someone way younger than me? I thought about, should I give up not having to answer to anybody? If I'm in Africa and I wanted to go to Europe, if I wanted to leave Europe and go to...
This man wasn't ready to get married. Because even right now, listen, and I'm going to slow this way down. Where's my music? Do I even have it? I don't have my music up because I would have played it at this moment. Listen, when I'm married, I'm marrying you because there's nothing else I want to do in this world outside of being with you. I love you from the top of your head to the toes. I love you through everything, through anything. You're going to be my breath, and you're going to be my oxygen and my carbon dioxide. I won't be able to live without you. I can't see my life without you. You complete me in other ways that I can't even do on my own. That's the reason why I'm going to marry you. I'm not going to sit at this nowhere in front of people and tell them all the things I'm giving up, because the things I'm giving up, I'm willingly giving up because you are so special to me that these things don't matter to me. If you had my back for 28 freaking years, you are me. If ever there was a time when my rib got pulled out, he made you. And that's the way it should have been said. Look in that woman's eyes and tell her everything she means to you, which is everything. When they see you, they see me, because without you, there is no me. That's what you should have said. That's what you should have said. And this is a leader, y'all. I'm not excoriating him personally. I don't know him personally. I'm excoriating what's happening. I'm really criticizing what is happening, what is being said. I don't know him. So fanboys, fangirls, I'm not going at your pastor. I'm not going at your bishop. But this right here, you have to listen, ladies. What I just said to you probably had a lot of you in some ways. You probably was sitting up here like, woo, he's speaking the truth here. Loose here. I was saying all that stuff, and some of these ladies, even in this comment, was like, yeah, keep talking, D. But this is the way your husband needs to talk to you. This is the way. When you brought her up here, everything in your heart that she meant to you, that's what you should say. I just said my vows. I didn't need to practice them. Why? Because when I'm married and I'm looking at this woman, I am not going to marry a woman that I got to think about and do all this extra stuff and explain to you. No, I'm going to look at this woman and tell her why. Not only then in front of these people, I'm going to tell her when we get home, I'm going to tell her when we on the phone, and in our wedding day, before we go to the honeymoon, where you won't see us for like 2 days, but before you go to the honeymoon, I'm going to say it again in a different way. But you are going to know I made the right decision to marry you. Because me not marrying you is not a good decision. I wonder, and I do too, I wonder how she felt. I know how I would have felt. If my woman would have done this to me when we got in that car, boy, I'd have been, what were you thinking, sweetheart? What were you thinking? Oh, we gonna get there. Let's go.
Asia, to Japan, I wouldn't have to call anybody. Talking about
Stop. I'm gonna be honest. That's a good looking woman. If she his age, that's a nice looking woman. I don't know what you were waiting on. Oh my God.
should I have somebody censoring who comes to my house? I don't like him. She sure can't come. I'm talking about, should I have to give up my Ferrari, buy a station wagon?
Bro, buy a station wagon. You 72. She ain't finna have no kids. What you need a station wagon for? What do you need a station wagon for, Abraham? I mean, is that what's happening right now? I mean, what is this? What is this? Can somebody please tell me what this is? Please, please, please. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm bewildered.
They get confused, bewildered, lethargic. Woo!
I'm confused. I mean, what's going on here?
And when I looked at her, I said, well, should you have to push a wheelchair when I can't walk?
I know I keep stopping, but I'm starting to get mad here. A marriage is a union between two. It's a man and a woman. It's give and take. It's the yin and the yang. It's the night and the day. You can't have one without the other. He's talking about what him. If you notice, all through this, he has not said not one thing that he wants to do for her. Or what she's, everything is what, you're going to push me around. Is this the reason? When you had no more left, now she gets the sloppy seconds. But I'm not faulting him. She's a beautiful woman, which means 28 years, you take away 28 years from that, I guarantee you she was lit. Somebody please, Aria, I got an announcement for you, but somebody please, if you get a chance, could you please inbox me an earlier picture of what this woman looks like? I guarantee you she's a knockout. She's not that much younger than him, man. I think she's around the same age. I mean, for crying out loud, if he's been dating her for 28 years, I don't care what her age is. That's 28 freaking years. So we know she's at least in her 50s, 60s. That's crazy. Let's go.
Don't go so fast. Slow down.
She a good
Should you have to deal with an old man when you could have many suitors who are so young?
False. Okay. Here's the thing. Because she spent so much time with him, it's going to be difficult for her to fight, because you have to, women are hypergamous, right? We know that. Most women are hypergamous. She went from a man that's worth $5 million. At this age right now, ain't too many suitors. To be honest, ain't too many suitors right here. And she can't go young because they're not going to want that much older. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. They're not going to want that much older. They're not. So you took the most of her years. You took over a quarter of a century with this woman. And now you saying, oh, you could have got somebody younger. Not now. She can't do it now. If she's in her 60s and almost 70s, let's be realistic. She ain't getting no young man. She not. It's just not going to happen. More than likely, it's not going to happen. I mean, you did this to this woman. And it's, wow.
Should you?
No, I disagree, Life. I disagree. Let me explain. If she would have left him 28 years before, maybe 20 years, gave him 8 years, she could have. At 60, 70, it's going to be very, very, very hard. I would say dang near impossible for her to find a better suit than him. You see, unless she marries down. She can find somebody if she marries down, but because most women are hypergamous, she's not going to settle for a man that's not worth what he has. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, she can get a scally, but it's going to be hard pressed because, number one, if he's worth $5 million, that puts him above the top 10% of men, especially 10% of black men. He's probably in the top 5%, even being worth $5 million. So for her to go from a man worth $5 million, she's going to have to go down. She may not want to do that. It's going for her, looking the way she's looking at him, even through all of this, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. She's so attached to him. We're analyzing this, D Crew. This is what we're doing. So I don't know. Let's go.
Have to be listening to a man who's intoxicated with the exuberance of his own verbosity.
What?
And should you have to deal with somebody who is set in his ways? After I thought about all the shoulds, I decided that if I keep on thinking about should, then I won't get this thing done.
What?
So I need you to give me some help here. I gotta pull something out of the. I gotta give me a Cracker Jack ring up in it.
Okay. I don't even have the cutaway for this right here. I got like a million cutaways here, and I don't even have one for what I feel right now. I know this is a joke. I know he's joking. I know, but come on, man. The Cracker Jack box, don't do that. I mean, unless somebody said in my job earlier, they said unless it was an inside thing, it was an inside joke. It's about optics, though. I don't understand. I just, you would have gave him a heart, no, Lauren? Yeah, that is a pause. But I see what you're saying. I don't know any woman that I know personally, friends or otherwise, that would have accepted this. They would have been like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" First of all, they wouldn't have waited 28 years. They wouldn't have waited no 28 years. Ain't no glorified pain worth no 28 years. There is no, even if that mug threw up and turned into gold and Samson himself couldn't bring it down from the heavens, there is no way that nobody would have waited 28 years for somebody to marry them. Maybe 8. I've heard 8, maybe 10, yeah. Especially if y'all living in the same house. You know, we know people who, shoot, most of us probably could know somebody that did that. That's not the same. I'm talking about a pastor who not supposed to be hitting the cherry pockets. They're not supposed to be doing that. So you waited 28 years. So alone, let's say, for instance, they were celibate. So you wasted 28 years when you could have been getting the mountains shaken from up under you by somebody else who would have married you. You wait 28 years for this. For a man that's 72, he probably got some little sparks left, but it ain't like it was 28 years before. I don't understand that. Make it make sense.
So I got away from all the shoulds. Should I? Should you? And I've decided simply to say, will you?
This is the answer. That's the answer. Because there was nothing in that whole little soliloquy that even pointed to anything that she was even important to him. Would you put up with me? Would you roll me? Would you change my depends? Would you scrub my sagging scrotum? I mean, all this other stuff that you talked about that she would do for you, but you didn't say what you would do for her. Because honestly, at that point, now y'all know I'm down for the manosphere. Y'all know that, but I'm down for for the women too, because I will see your side too. Because what is she getting out of this? It's not like you about to break down the walls of Gibraltar on her. Not at 72. You probably, like I said, he probably get a couple of humps in, and that's it. 1, 2, and then I'm done. I mean, that's what she's going to get out of this. And what is she getting? Ladies, when you are marrying a man or you even dating a man, right? Even though I'm down for the men, but you still should get something out of it. You still should get something out of it. If he comes to you and saying, oh, you got to do this, and I want a woman to do this, and I want a woman to do this, you should not have to say to him anything if he's not following that up with, and in return, I'm going to give you the world. I don't have the world, but I'm going to break my back to give you the world. If he's not saying anything like that to you, you need to get up from that table. You need to run like Chitara. You need to be gone. I mean, and I know some people saying, yeah, she getting the bag. Of course, she getting the bag, but golly, I don't know, y'all. I mean, this was embarrassing. This was embarrassing to me. Let's go.
Marry me.
She said that quick, y'all. Y'all saw that? She said, yes.
I'm getting married. What did you say? I
said yes.
And she still got a nice little shape too. Oh no, bro, you wasted her.
Sister Loretta,
nah, she wouldn't have made it up them stairs with me.
And come on, City Ranch Church, put your hands.
She'd have been like walking up that wheelchair because ain't nowhere in the world. That's a nice looking woman. And I ain't lusting after her. I'm just saying you don't wait 28 years. That's not a bad looking woman. Yes, that matters. Because if you worth $5 million, what can she do for you? But now that you about to break down, now you saying, okay, come marry me now. You don't want a wife. You want a nurse. You want a practitioner. And I don't think that that's fair for her. But to be honest with you, it's really on her. If at first it's on him. And he came up with every reason why he didn't want to marry this woman. He just ran them all down while she stood there. He ran down all the reasons why he didn't want to marry her. And if you notice, he didn't give us one reason why he should. Did y'all listen? Because one thing I would tell you about D Crew, my crew, the people that watch me, check this out. One thing after watching me enough and us hanging out on the days we hang out, your sights is going to be so wide open. You're going to be able to see when people is running game on you. You're going to be able to see when these prophets are saying something that's off. By the time we're done hanging out with each other, you're going to be like, you're going to give that mean monkey look to a lot of people. You're like, we ain't doing this. Because I sat here and heard a lot of things that was wrong with that. But she's still going to marry him. And this is what happens. Do you think, probably it's going to be a prenup, my boy. There's going to be a prenup. But what's a prenup? You have to marry me 5 months? He's 72. So she ain't going to be with you 20 years. Now, you did all this waiting. You did all this waiting, and then what? And y'all know it was some dudes, probably musicians, trying to get with this woman. Y'all know that. And this is what we end up with. And people clap, and then you think, okay, some reports say 20 years, but that's still 20 years. That's 2 decades. That's 2 decades. And here's my thing. While she was waiting, y'all know the way I think is crazy, and I'm going to throw this by y'all. Y'all tell me what you think. Was he waiting for that Miss Perfect? Because if y'all remember, wasn't he going to marry some Lisa Ray chick? Wasn't he going to marry some other chick? Lisa Ray? Whatever happened to that?
She belongs to the streets.
Whatever happened to that Lisa Ray situation? Or was it Jesus that came and told him? I mean, what happened to that? Look that up real quick. I believe he was dating that Lisa Ray or some superstar R&B or some kind of entertainer. So she waited in the wings for those other ones to that situation to dissipate, and she still waited. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. What have we known if nothing else, ladies and gentlemen?
So what have we learned if nothing else, children? Homie, don't play it!
We don't play that because I'm not waiting that long. I'm not waiting 20 years. Now, real quick, in my comment section, would you waited 20 years for somebody to date other people while you waited? And in the meantime, he's still messing with you. Let's not be stupid. Would you have waited? Yes or no? I think this is going to be the most unanimous church people have ever been on anything. I don't think anybody's going to say yes. No, never. Thank you. I'm seeing it. No, absolutely not. I see you. And so this was like crazy. This is like crazy. And I think the fact that you are a leader of a church, this is not the message you want to send. Men, don't be like this. Don't be narcissistic like this. Don't make these women feel like it's all about you and they get nothing else out of the deal. That's not fair to them. That's not fair. Now, I'm not up here trying to stand on the soapbox, but what we just saw right here, it was done in public. It deserves criticism by a public figure. The church has to do better. It absolutely does, Dwayne. It absolutely does. We have to do better. This is what we represent. Now, nobody's perfect. We all do our due. Let's keep it a buck. We all do our thing here. There is nobody that's perfect. Not me, not you, but we're not leaders. We're not leaders. We're the people that sit and look at these people. They lead us. And you do stuff like this. So now this is sending a direct message to younger men who admire him. And they're saying, oh, yeah, he going to make up. Wait, guess what? I ain't going to marry you till I'm ready. I ain't going to marry you till I'm ready. I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready to get married. I'm just not ready to get married. And I tell you, ladies, you should be like, okay, I got you. I tell you, I got you. Then you need to move around quick. Get up out of there. Do not wait 20 years. Don't do that. But here's the thing. Now, yesterday, it got real funny. It got real fun because I asked people to send me videos. Y'all remember yesterday we was talking about that singles mix-up because that video was wild. I never seen it before. And those men were acting real crazy. Well, Aria came through for me. She was the first one to send. And so Aria, send me your Cash App or your Zelle, and I will send you what you are. You have won $50. So everybody give her a hand. Aria has won $50. Congratulations, Aria. Yeah, I know, I'm not sure if you're still here, but somebody let her know, Aria Lewis, she won the $50. She was the first to do it. I mean, she was quick with it. She sent a whole 3-part thing to it. Congratulations, Aria. So now, let's see what she sent me. It's 2 videos. Well, one of them was too short, and it was kind of like, okay, but listen, we're having so much fun, y'all. Check this out. Y'all gonna see what happened after this. I wanted to see, because I thought that this was gonna be wild. Let's do it like we do, D-Crew. Let me move over, make myself small, pause. Oh, God, somebody said give God his 10%. Bro, we not doing that. Give it to the poor if you want to. Let's do that. Over here, we give to the poor. We can have that discussion, though. That's going to be a heated one if y'all want to have it. Y'all ready? Let's move on. Let's see what happened at the singles thing.
Hi. Hello. We moved to the same building.
I'm like,
Hi, I'm Lexi.
Lexi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You want to aerate them? Cora,
Freya, nice to meet
where you
you.
from? Approaching a black woman is different from approaching a non-black woman. You look good, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I approach black women, they don't give me the time of day. Someone just wave their hands like nothing ever happened.
Good. How are you?
Hello, Cora. How you doing?
Tonight, I will be observing the women of the Healing House interact with men who have the very same issues that...
Stop. Hey, yo, Jonathan, we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a discussion about that. That's going to be a heated one. But let's talk about this real quick. Did it look like that girl curved him? The first one, when he walked and talked to her, it looked like she was like, hey, how you doing? And kind of was like, yeah, whatever. Listen, I was watching this show called Catfish earlier, right? And Catfish showed me something. Y'all know I should have had this sent, but I'm going to send y'all something. I want y'all to see something real quick. Hold on. Is it still here? Oh, yeah, it's still here. Catfish showed me something. I just need to edit this because I don't want to do nothing janky here. All right. Bear with me. I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want you guys to see this. All right. Here. So on Catfish, you know how everybody's saying that, you know, well, women don't look at looks. We look at the inside. We want to make sure that the man is this, that, and the other. We love men. Y'all so shallow. When they saw this dude on this show, both women who he was catfishing, man, they went crazy. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, no. Hold on. Give me a second. I got to make sure this has to be right. I want you guys to see this. Where did it go? Hold on. You guys are going to laugh. Oh, there it is. It's in that folder. So they were actually talking about it. And a lot of women, they always get on me. You always talking about looks. You always talking about looks. It's more than that. It's more than just looks. You're supposed to go with a person for what they have on the inside. Okay. So this guy showed up. Let me show you what he looked like on the show. And Lord, these women laid into him like no other. When they saw this brother show up on Catfish, both of the ladies looked at him like, oh, hecky no. So don't come and try to act like y'all don't like looks either, because y'all not for the date a dude that look like this. Y'all not about to date a man that look like this. When he popped up on that screen, them ladies went crazy. They went crazy. They were like, oh.
Nigga, please.
They was like, yo, this dude is popped. Yeah. So don't try to act like y'all don't go by looks. You go by looks just like men do. Y'all don't like scallies with their hair all over the place.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, got on that.
Scallies. Y'all don't want them, and y'all don't want this dude right here. Y'all don't want this man. If this man was in your inbox, and here's the crazy thing, there's a difference. This man in your inbox and saying, "Oh, you are so beautiful," you be like, "Oh, why you sweat me? He thirsty." But if Morris Chestnut is in your inbox saying, "Hey, you're beautiful," you like, Morris Chestnut want me, y'all. It's a hypocrisy, ladies. It's a hypocrisy. So don't come to me and when I say men want you to look a certain way, now you want to say men are shallow. Y'all, and if you think that, next time you say that, I'ma send him to your inbox. Let's see how you roll with that. I'ma send him to your inbox. There's gonna be in your inbox. "Hey girl, how you doing? I want to just get with you. I want to rub on you. I want to do that." Yeah. And let's see if you get the feeling from him. You ain't gonna feel like that towards him. You know it. So don't trip. Don't trip. But she curved this dude. I believe this woman curved this dude. That's what I think. Anyway, let's go.
They came in with, these men have resentment and frustration toward the opposite sex.
My man is in between all three white girls.
What a surprise. Surprise.
Okay, so that was the dude I think he said he only liked white girls. Now, from this video, one thing I did see, and I don't know if this is Hollywood or if this is the media, but sometimes they show them to be more quote-unquote cooperative. Having said that, I've seen some very aggressive ones. So we ain't doing that here. Now, we do have some issues, ladies. Some of you got some issues. But we're not about to sit up here and act like every single person that's not a black woman don't got no man-to-be spirit in them. They're not aggressive, masculine. Don't do that. So anyway.
Is that where you want to be?
What? No, I'm right here talking to you.
Okay.
When Lita first...
Now, real quick, did you see how she went there with him? Is that where you want to be? Don't do that. Because now he looking at you with that attitude. That's already one. He's already looking like, he looking, because that would have been a red flag for me. You want to go over there? No need for that attitude. I don't know you. Okay, kind of chill out. But anyway.
Came to this house, she thought she was angry with the men who have disappointed her. But the truth is she was hurt. And she invited men into her life who would reinforce the hurt she was already feeling. Now, as I'm watching the way she interacts with Mr. Coro, I can see that...
Hey, Amanda, I can get you some bean burgers and some fries. I'm not about to send you no money. I just can't do that. All right?
She still has not fully come to peace with her truth.
I'm Tyrone. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Tyrone. Nice to meet you.
My ideal woman is anything other than black.
Do you feel bad when black men don't date black women?
It kind of irritates me. I have a problem with a black man saying to me that I do not date black women, and because the reasons behind it are like stereotypical, and I don't like that.
I think black women are beautiful.
Are you bitter? To a certain extent, yes or no? Don't think about it, yes or no.
At a specific relationship.
We're taking a polygraph test right now.
No, at
yes
a
or no?
specific relationship.
Yes or no? Okay, so you're bitter. I'll answer for you. Yes, you are. Yes. Hello.
Men, fellas, you see how he left her standing there? That was kind of rude or whatever. Listen, unless she goes in on you and she's being like totally aggressive towards you, being disrespectful, always a gentleman, like removing the hat, a gentleman, you finish the conversation and you don't walk away. That's what boys do. Men walk up when she's saying whatever. She didn't seem like she was going at him. She had a little, aggression, but she wasn't there. She wasn't in man-to-be mode right then. You finish the conversation. And then you just say, okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having a conversation. Always be respectful, because that impression of you, it shouldn't matter to you. So always be a gentleman. Always be a gentleman. Unless, of course, if she was being nasty towards you and calling you all sorts of names, then of course you walk away, especially before it gets, physical. But there was no need. Remember that. Always finish the conversation. Always be respectful. Always be a gentleman. Remember that. Remember that. That's going to help you.
Not for me, brother. I'm an other lover.
What do you like about the snow bunnies? Is it the beautiful eyes while they're like giving head, or what is it about?
Why do the white women like the black men so much? I just want to know, like, do they feel as though that the black man gonna treat them better than they treat us?
I come downstairs and I seen a bunch of black guys and a bunch of white women. I'm like, what did we do as black women make you just want to just date white women? Like, what are they doing that we aren't doing? I just want to know that.
Ladies, have you ever asked that question? Yes or no? Have you ever wondered why they do that? Now, man, I wonder about one of these dudes. He act kind of suspect to me, but has there ever been a time when you ask yourself, well, what do they see in white women that they don't see in us? Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever asked anybody that? I want to know. I'm seriously want to know. Because even like today, there was a discussion and they were saying, well, that y'all just like to go to the white girls. I mean, is that what you guys really think? Honestly, is that what you think? I really want to know. Okay? Put it yes or no or whatever.
When Miss Jamaica entered the house, she had an issue with her self-image. She believed she was, quote, too dark. In her mind, she was competing with white women who date black men, when in reality, she was actually diminishing herself. But as I'm watching her discuss her truth, it's clear that she has learned how to use her tools to communicate clearly and calmly.
Do you think since they so infatuated with y'all, do you think that you would treat a white woman better than you would treat a black woman?
I don't think you treat them better because they're white. I think you treat them better because of it's the submissiveness. With them, you're the man.
Hello, my beloved.
All right, that was the end of that clip. Tell me what you think of that. What did you think with that mixer? It just seemed like these guys were super lost. Usually I would, not necessarily side with the men, but they were kind of off in the head to me, if you ask me. But then it went on. Listen, here's another part of it. This is the part that's going to blow your mind.
Michael claims not to date black women because he is different. But I feel that he hides behind that label, just as the women who entered the House of Healing hid behind the angry label for so long.
My perspective of black women were my aunties, my cousins, all the way from, I had cousins that made me feel weird, You dress funny, why you act like that,
Yo, real quick, that light-skinned girl right here to the left, didn't she play on the Players Club? She looks very familiar. I think she played on that movie, The Players Club. I think that's what I remember her from. She looks so familiar. Somebody could tell me if this is the same one.
Black women look at me and say, I can tell you don't like us. I'm like, what? I don't like you? I love you, but I can't help it if I learn 20 instruments. I can't help it if I play flute and walk barefooted on the beach. I'm from South Central. I was amazed at you. Because I even told you, I said, you're a beautiful girl. And I watched yesterday.
Michael, she's a beautiful woman.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Tell her.
Beautiful
You know
woman.
what?
Yeah.
So you're beautiful.
I think that is that. Real quick, is that the same one? I really, really think that that's Ronnie from Players Club, and I think he kind of liking her. I mean, I think that's who that is.
Girl. And I told him, I said, this generation right now, people in their 20s, it's hard. Y'all making it hard on these brothers. We got to wake up every day. Everything has to be about status. We got to buy this, even if we can't afford it. And then y'all on Instagram, beautiful, and you talking like you don't have no daddy. You sound like a dude talking, like you ain't got no home training. Oh, what the fuck is up? And you say you a bad bitch? That's not a bad bitch. I'm talking in general. I'm talking about the general that how old are you?
22.
Yeah, your generation. Girl, you 22 years old. You doing this. You having hot flashes?
Yes, it's hot.
Michael.
Okay. I'll let her talk before
That's disrespectful. I want you to understand that. Why would you do that?
Because I'm being funny. I'm a different kind of personality. Now you're trying to make me look bad like I disrespected her.
You did.
I got a son with a black woman. My mother is black.
Okay, let's stop for a second. Was he disrespectful to that woman? Yes or no? Yes or no, was he disrespectful to her? I'm thinking they were both disrespectful to each other. But he was way more aggressive in his tone. He took the whole little Kevin Samuels role, and he don't have Kevin Samuels swag. And then she kind of tried to respond or whatever. She was kind of being, doing that man of beast situation, like she was about to Hulk out. But yeah, I think they're both wrong in this. But let's see what happens.
I respected this woman in this room at this time.
May I finish, please?
No, you said, I'm making you feel like you disrespect her. And I want you to understand, the same way I said to you earlier, that we would, excuse me, Miss Lyra, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it.
I feel disrespected by his comment.
I'm handling
that's the man to be.
So I want you to
There's
understand
the man to be coming out.
that to make a comment as a man like that to a woman, it wasn't funny. It was disrespectful.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to apologize. But what about what I heard when I was growing up until now? It is disrespectful because it's a psychological input. All I'm saying is that I thought it was funny.
Miss Lyra, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it, Miss Lyra. It's out of order.
I thought he was out of order.
Yeah, but I handled it. And you got the apology.
I'm talking about the first comment that he made.
Maybe it's just me. Ladies, help me out. Was it that bad to what he said? I mean, or did you think she just felt like she's being put on the spot? I mean, honestly, was it that bad? I mean, for me, I could see it maybe, but I don't know. You think this for theatrics or no? Her getting up and walk out. I agree. You're right, Tammy. I agree. And I think that was the problem with a lot of these men. They had issues with the wrong person, and now all of a sudden they upset with all black women, and you can't do that. Yeah, I think thank you, Susan. She is being extra. She's being extra, which would be, for me, something that I wouldn't want to deal with. We don't deal with the extra. You just calm that down. Yeah, she needs to grow up. But so he was I kind of agree with him in that generation. They are a little more saucy. They do got more flip mouth. A lot of them are some manabees. But at that point, man, she was just overdoing it. What's up, LeBaron? We ain't talking about being shallow today.
But I'm handling it. I said to you earlier, and I'm gonna give you.
Like that.
But I'm gonna give it. Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna give it to you because you weren't here. We taught the ladies the distinction between hearing and listening.
I'm listening, and I didn't like what I heard.
Yeah. So you don't have to respond.
Wait a minute.
That's your.
You see, do we need to go on? Shame, insults, guilt need to be right. She been disrespectful to Ayana or Ilana or whatever, however you pronounce her name. She been disrespectful to her now. So, like we talked about the exorcism yesterday. Did he call out the spirit and it just started to manifest? It looked like she was on one. See, this is what I'm saying, fellas. If you were with a woman and you make a point and she get all upset and jumping out of control, you need to leave that situation because that's not going to end. That's not going to be well for you. You're going to be in some trouble. This is way too much. This is way too much. But see, she wanted attention, but this ain't a good attention. This is smash attention. It's smash attention, but it ain't good attention. It's not. Let's go.
Power. Don't give him your power. You don't have to respond. Hold it. I told you I will handle it. Just breathe and hold it.
When I feel disrespected, I feel like I should have a voice. You said we're allowed to have a voice.
Yeah, I'm your voice.
I want to say something.
Today I'm your voice.
Like what you said.
I'm your voice because you are reacting. You're not responding. Breathe and we'll handle it.
I've breathed enough for the day.
I don't think so.
Hello, my beloveds. Thank you so much for stopping by our own
Man,
YouTube
I
channel.
don't know, fellas. I know y'all looking at that and you whatever. We know visual, you see what you like. You like what you see at first. But see, beyond that, when you start having those conversations, she start giving you that attitude. A lot of us, we ignore that because we want so bad to you know, be with that. We see what we like, or we like what we see. But I'm telling you, that's a lifelong of pain. And she not always gonna look like that. She not. She was disrespectful. Agreed. Thank you so much, Ari. She was so disrespectful. Listen, and a lot of times, even women with men, you ignore the red flags. Any man watching this, there is no way any man that's got something going for himself gonna look at that and be like, oh, I need to bring that into my home. No, you don't. She need to be somewhere else with her dog. And she's starting off young getting a dog. That was bad. And that's what I'm saying. She just proved his point. She went out her way to prove his point. And that would be my point. I always say this, ladies, you got to calm it down. Nobody likes that. No man wants a man-to-be. We don't want a woman our size. We don't want a woman that acting like us. We don't want man-to-bees. We don't want silverbacks, hood bandits. We don't want those. She just displayed a whole lot of immaturity. But she be the first one to say, ain't no real good man. You going to beat him to dust. They're doing the LeBron James. She just totally and I'm sorry. The older I get, the more turned off I am with that whole little spiciness. I like a soft-spoken woman. I like a woman that's just soft-spoken. And maybe, honestly, that those quote-unquote white women in that show, they were a little bit more soft-spoken. They weren't all like this. They weren't doing all like that. They were too goofy. No goofies on my squad. But at the end of the day, the black women were upset. Now, that may be the media posting that. Like I said, I know some man-to-bees that don't look like our sisters too. But at the very end of the day, they displayed, at least in those clips, to be a little bit more friendly, a little bit more cooperative. And then he gets on there acting like a fool, and he says his due, and the spirits start acting up, making him look right. So now everybody watching the show is looking and saying, oh, he was right all along. Look how she acted. Don't do it. Ladies, don't do it. You are minimizing your chance to meet the Mr. Right that ain't going to make you wait 28 years because of that attitude, that need to be right. You don't need to be right all the time. You listen to the lady. She's here to help you. Listen to her. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and listen to Ayana. She knows what she's talking about.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Shut your mouth. Tone that attitude down. Down, 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 down. At least to a minimum. We don't want to deal with that. But then I was sent something else. I've been hearing it a lot since I was a kid. Even in the 80s, I've heard women say, I don't want a man. I don't need a man. I don't want no man. We doing good all by ourselves. We don't need no man. We've been doing this forever. So I was sent this video. Listen, and we'll leave on this, but listen, y'all, this opened my eyes to so much. Just this little video. It was done by, I'm going to give credit to the person, the content creator. I can't remember the name, but we're going to see it when she goes. But yeah, bass can be loud, but nobody wants that either, sweetheart. Let me explain to you. If you're having an argument with your man, Scylla, and he's done something that you don't like, and if your voice is deeper, but your voice shouldn't be this deep. If your voice is this deep, we have a problem. I don't want to call you, hello, hello. I don't want that. No, your voice shouldn't be that deep. We need to do an Adam's apple check right then and there for real before we get married, because I'll be doggone if I marry you and there's some Franken beans. That's not going to happen with me. But I get what you're saying, but you ain't got to be all, rah, 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 rah. That's not going to play well here. Oh, you talking about the bass guitar? Right. Yeah, well, we ain't doing bass tonight. maybe I'm going to be here all week. So, yeah. But anyway, I saw this video. I want y'all to check this out. Let me know what you think about it. Here we go.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility. And then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home. So, it really, male figures are not substantially important in the family.
So y'all seeing with this video that this goes way back. This didn't just happen overnight with women feeling like they didn't need no man. You guys are hearing, this is representative of what I was hearing when I was younger, my early teens and preteens or whatever. I was hearing women in the neighborhood saying this. I know I'm thinking of one in my head right now. Pause. Wait, let's do it. But this goes back far. And we're going to make a point tonight. I want all the ladies that are not goofies to understand that is something you desperately need to stop saying. You need men. You do. You don't need the bad ones. You don't need scallywags. You don't need those kind of dudes. But you need men. And men need women for different reasons. I think the problem is everybody wants to put this thing where we're equal. We're not equal. We need you for different reasons than you need us. The problem is when feminism started to happen, everybody is saying, oh, we can do the same thing you can't. We've proven time and time you cannot do what we do. And you have things that make you important to us that we can't do. But you don't want those things. You want to be equal up to man because for why? For why? I really don't know. But this goes back far. Far. We're in 1986. It's worse now. But let's go further. Let's go.
That clip right there was from a 1986 CBS special hosted by...
Yo, he going hard on them cans, yo. For real. Wow, dude.
Bill Moyer, discussing the state of Black America and the vanish...
Hold on, stop. I've heard this junk too, Damon. If you are if you part of the D crew, you cannot say this stuff. That's disgusting. You can't, that is not the same thing. Jesus is not going to hold you in your bed at night. And if you think that's Jesus holding you in your bed, you have problems. Deep, deep, deep-seated, deep-rooted problems. And I think you need to do something about it. I think you need to do something about it.
Stop it. Get some help. Seriously.
If you think Jesus is your man, that is disgusting. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's disturbing to me. And that's one of the reasons why I say I don't really want to date and marry church girls, because they say stupid stuff like this. No goofies on my squad. And only goofies would say something like this. That's just like me saying, yeah, Mary is my woman. What? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So you come talking that junk to me, I'm just... I don't want to hear it. All right, let's go.
Black family. In this clip right now, you're looking at a group of young Black mothers, none of them married, all of them single mothers, and all of them but one said they did not want to get married to the father of their kid. And as you can see, they did not hold back on why it was not a good idea for them to have a two-parent household. One of the young mothers, she said a whole family to care for, it's a lot of responsibility.
I know not all church girls. I know there's always exceptions to the rules. We know that. But check this out. I never really understood when they said, okay, I didn't want to marry my son's father, or my daughter's father. I don't want to marry him. But he was good enough to make a baby with them. So if he's not good enough to make a husband, you thought he'd be good enough to be a father? Make it make sense for me, ladies. That is the dumbest thing ever. Because he was good enough. Check this out. This is where we're jacked up. In the sexual liberation period, it just messed everything up. He was good enough to give him the one gift that you could give him. The one gift, if we break everything down to its bare minimum, with no technology, none of this, The one thing he could give you is a child, access to your womb and access to your body. You was willing to give him that. He wasn't good enough to be a husband, but he was good enough to lay down with. He was good enough to make a baby with. Make it make sense to me. It's that illogical thinking that put us in this place. And I'm going to tell you why later.
She also said you don't want that commitment. Another one said she didn't want a man holding her down. And then the last one, she said that male figures are not substantially important in the family. Does any of this sound familiar?
I understand the woman bring life. Y'all don't. So I need a man to be like,
how y'all get that life, man?
What do you mean?
How you get that life?
Create. What do you mean?
How do you get that life?
Go in the hospital and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man.
You still need a man.
You still need a man.
See, that's that mentality right there. I don't need a man. You heard her. You heard her. I don't need a man. Like,
you need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need a physical sperm.
She is a goofy. No goofies on my squad. No goofies on my squad. Check this out. She said, we don't need a man, we need sperm. Where does sperm come from, Goofy? Where does it come from? You think it's a magical sperm tree outside where you can just shake it and the coconut comes and you crack it over your head and sperm just comes out and you just impregnate yourself? No. Here's the thing. This is where feminism messed you up. You need men. You need men. Why? Because you think you can run this stuff? Yeah, but we built it. Men built civilization. Men built these buildings you live in. Men built these cars you running. Men designed these cars. Men designed most of this stuff. Y'all not about to be out here and be no garbage men. You're not about to be on here on no scaffold and build none of these buildings. You want the CUSS jobs. You want the social jobs, the social workers and doctors and nurses and stuff like that where you sit behind a desk. But the real dirty jobs you don't want to do. You don't want to work at the sanitation district where they cleaning up poop and everything out of the water and cleansing it again. You don't want to work there. You don't want to do those kinds of jobs. That's why you need men. We are the ones. Over 90% of deaths in the workplace happen by men, not by women. 97 of the deaths that happen in war happen by men, not by women. When there's a war, they want us to fight. When something happened in your house, you don't want a 130-pound woman coming up in your house and say, police. No, you want a 6'3", 280-pound man walking in the door. That's what you want. You need men. Stop saying you don't need men. Because a man can do stuff that not even your goddamn dog can do. Men, when something breaks in your house, who comes to fix it? 9 times out of 10, what does a plumber look like? 9 times out of 10, the building contractor, what does he look like? 9 times out of 10, the people who drive trucks, what do they look like? The firefighters, what do they look like? You really think that? It was a show that came on and Kevin Samuels talked about it. Yeah, for scallies is that. But Kevin Samuels talked about this. And I went and, I research everything. When people talk, I just don't let them just jabber on. I actually go research it. I saw the show. There were men on an island. There were women on the island, right? And they had to survive based off of whatever was on the island. The men, in about a few months, or maybe a month or so, they had built huts, they had civilization, they was building stuff, they built irrigation, they was working it out. Now, they had their issues, of course, but they were working it out. They had huts. The women were starving. They had to help them. They sent them a pig, and instead of them cooking it and making bacon bits, they made it a pet. They made the pig a pet. And it wasn't until they was dang near at their wits' end that one of them finally got rid of crispy bacon. They killed the pig, but the men were chilling. Men would survive. You do different things than men. Don't act like you don't need a man. That's my point. Men need women, but don't act like you don't need us. That's stupid. If all the men left this civilization, I don't think you would survive a month. I don't. It's some things you can't lift stuff heavy. You can't lift heavy stuff. You can't do that. That's man's job. Where I work, I'm the only man there. And when they need something heavy to be lifted, they calling me. A building full of women. And most of them, they cool women. They not act like I don't need no man. But they recognize some of these things we cannot do. This one man got to lift this big old heavy refrigerator or oven. This woman, now, I'm a little strong. But dang. It's one man. So when the heavy stuff need to be done, it's me. If Mr. Burton watching this, he knows that I'm telling the truth. You need men. And you're going to find out one day when you got your... That's what you're going to have.
Where does it come from?
That's for right now. Give it to
from a man.
But a hospital, I can look for a book and find a man.
And I can find a womb to hold it in.
And find a what? Surrogates.
Woman.
And you need a physical man to give you sperm.
You need a physical man.
No, you...
Obviously, people say you have a baby. Are you going to get married? What is your take on that? Do you want to get married?
You know what? I'm actually not. My mom always was like, you need to stop saying that. But I feel like at my age, I don't really want to get married right now.
And okay, let's stop. That's another thing that's happening in our communities, where you're telling your daughters, don't get married, don't worry about getting married or whatever. They go off to college and do this and do that, and they'll be around. That's good advice, but they're never going to meet as many men at one time as they're going to meet in college. They're not. I would never tell my daughter that. I would just tell her to be careful, make a good decision, and we will be there to help and support her in her decision. But I don't want my daughter to be 36 years old, still out here hunting, because it's going to get real ugly at that age, because number one, at that age, a lot of men are not really trying to feel you, especially if you got kids. They're not really trying to feel you at that age, not the men that you want. They don't want you at that age, really. You got to really, because you were better when you were younger. That much I agree with Kevin. You were better when you were younger. You don't have the same value as you did when you were younger. But they tell you wait. Now you 38 years old. Now you looking for a husband. You freaking kidding me. And because now you got your degrees, you making it $70,000 a year. You ain't going to want no man that's making 30. I don't understand that. That's not good logic. And we set our women back so far because we waiting till they 40 years old. Now you want to talk about, oh yeah, I want to get married. You do? To who? To a scallywag. To a scally. Because the men that you want, they already gone. Or if they're not gone, you're going to have to share. I know that's not what you want to hear. Because if you're hypergamous, you make $70,000. That means you want a man to make $80,000. He doesn't need your money. These are hard truths. You get that over here, D-Crew. I'm not gonna cap. So let's go.
I feel like that's an even bigger commitment. I don't know. I hate to say like it's an even bigger commitment than a baby to me, but getting married just seems like so much.
I don't have no men, and guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't need no men. I'm done.
Okay. Did that hood bandit sound like anything any of you men watching would want? Did she sound like anything you would want? We don't like hood bandits either. Yeah, I don't think no. That's not what we do over here. Stay away from the hood bandits. If they can't even have a conversation with you without going crazy, and bro, stay away from the hood bandits. If they eyelashes, they can shake hands with you and hug their mama behind them. They so long, stay away from them. Let's not do that.
Can you believe it's 36 years later? Are things about the same or worse? Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Click the notification bell for updates, and if you're new, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm going to try my best to respond to all of you.
I'm thinking about holding up for no sex, man. You know, if a girl, she get having a baby, carrying a baby, hey, that's on her. I'm not going to stop my pleasures because of another woman.
What about birth control? What about condom?
Girls don't like them things. They don't like them things. They'll tell you to take them things off. They figure that you saying that they filthy or they dirty or something.
It's been a startling change in values.
Yo, that was a scally if we ever see. Now y'all always wonder what I say about scally. That was an old school scally from 1986. That's a scally. Man, they don't want them things. Now, man, this is around the time where HIV and AIDS were really out. And he out here talking about, I ain't rolling with no condom. That's scary, y'all. That's real scary.
25 years ago, you would not have heard such things said so freely because they were not embraced so widely. The strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents at home. That is true no longer. Most black children are now growing up without their fathers. The result is a world turned upside down as children copy what they see and repeat what they learn. LaDawn said she didn't have a father in her home and doesn't think her children need one. She's not unusual. Half the black families today are headed only by a woman.
Okay. He said half black families today are headed by a woman. Listen, I'm going to say something, and I hope this blesses you. If you have a boy and you gave birth to a boy, he absolutely, positively needs his father. If that man wants to be in the father's life. Because while y'all saying men don't take care of their children, we can talk about the ones that keep their child away from their dad for some weird sick game. You don't want to be with me. You can't see my child. How many times have you seen that? I watch these videos on TikTok. Hey, that's why you ain't gonna see your baby. Or the first thing they say is, I see you in child support. They want the money, but they don't want the father to be in the father's life because they feel like I can raise him on my own. No, you cannot. There's a statistic that I just saw just today. Where's the statistic? I have it. No spice at all. Hold on. Where's that stat? I have it here. Okay, in Inglewood, Chicago, right? Family household types, the percentage of family households with children under the age of 18. Inglewood. Now, those of you who live in Chicago, you know Inglewood is pretty much us, right? Say yes or no. If you live in Chicago, you know anything about Chicago. You know Inglewood is pretty much us. The percentage of single moms in Inglewood in Chicago is 70.9%. 70.9% in Inglewood, Chicago. Now go look at the map in Chicago if you got time. Go look at the map of Chicago. Go run the dangerous areas of Chicago to live, the most violent. You will find Inglewood, Chicago. You still want to lie and say men are not needed in their father's life? When the statistics show, he just said what I said last time, that our culture is matriarchy. It is. The women run the show. They're the head of the households. But if you look, we are last in every statistical category, in economics, in education. You've been running the show. You've been running the show. We ain't been there. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, you can blame us, say, oh, y'all won't step up. Y'all don't want us to step up, man of bees. Not all of you. This not you. You know I'm not talking to you. You know, my D crew know I'm not talking to you. But I'm talking about all you women that's up in here saying, y'all, it's funny to me. When there's praise to be given, here you are. But when there's blame and accountability, you want to put it on the men. You want to put it on the men now. Oh, the men are not stepping up. You don't want them to step up, man, to be. You feel like you could be the man and the woman. Meanwhile, Ray, Aquarius, and all these crazy names you give these children because the father don't have a right. You don't even let them be there to name his child. So you give them the names. Fools, let me say this. Why are you putting apostrophes in words that don't matter? Why in the hell would you put an apostrophe if her name is Trisha and you don't need to put an apostrophe after the Trisha? For what reason? What is it with all these hyphens and apostrophes that we want to put in our names of our children now? Whatever happened to regular names? And if anything you want to give them a cultural name. Give them an African name. Give them something like that. Now you giving it all the hyphens. There's so many hyphens in these names, some of these kids' names. I'm like, are you free? Why are you naming your kids after drinks? Cavassier, Cognacia. What are we doing? Gin and rummy. Then you give all these boys these weird names, Denquaria, Denquan of Quiniana. What? What is this? And for crying out loud, stop hyphenating these last names. Give these fathers, these children last names. There's no hyphen needed. Every other culture understands that but ours. Every other culture, you don't see that really happening that much like you do ours. Williams Tate, Thomas Jackson. What? Don't do that. You've been running the show. Congratulations. I'll give you applause. You've been running the show. Do you feel good now? I don't want no man. I don't need no man. And here we are. So are you ready to come back to the table where we can sit and talk about this thing and how we can fix this thing? Because we let you have it. You and Uncle Sam and every other government assistance program that helps you along these years since the 70s. Now, let's come back to the table and talk. You need us, and we need you. You ready? Amen.
Clorinda said she could make it on her own as a...
They do, but not as much. I agree. They do, but not as much. Not as much. I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it, but not as much. I agree with you, but only to a certain degree. And if they do it, here's the thing. If they do it, it's not for the same reasons. It's not for the same reasons. I can guarantee you that. And some of them, we're naming our children the mother's name. We don't even put the father's name on there. I don't understand how you could do that. Like you made it on your own. Don't do that either. I don't like that. And most men, if we spoke up, we would say we don't like that. But they don't speak up. We just let things happen. We don't like that. Give the child our name. Since you want to take us to court for child support, the least you could do is give it our names. No, it's not the same reason. It's not to keep the father out. It's not to play a game. You see what I'm saying? No, it's not. And I agree with you. They don't. And it is a culture thing. I agree. Thank you, Susan. And this is a tough spot. And look, I know I'm passionate about this, but it's like this for a lot of men. A lot of men feel like women play these games with us and our children. And after a while, men just give up. We just be like, whatever. Then the boy, especially the boys, he grows old and get bitter and start making songs about him if you're a rapper. No, he didn't bother. He didn't want to do nothing with me. Because you want to play this game. If you don't want to be with me, you can't have my child. Now, let's flip it. Men, stop using these child to get back with the mother. She doesn't want you. She's moving on. Spend that time with your child. Stop trying to get in her pants. That's not what that time is for. You go see your child. That's what you do that for. And it's a growing process. A lot of us are still growing. We're still maturing. I'm just telling you, that time is for you and your child. Not time to get in her panties. Stop doing that. Let's go.
Single parent. She has never been married and is raising her daughter without a man's help. She's not unusual. Today, nearly 60% of all black children are born out of wedlock.
He was saying in the late 50s, early 60s, it was very common to have...
Wait, stop. He said 60% then. Can somebody tell me what the percentage of our children that are born out of wedlock now is? It's up there. It's dang near 80%. 80%. That's too high. That's too high. And it ain't the birth rate that's killing me. I don't have a problem with that. But bringing children into a situation now, considering that our child most likely going to be born into poverty. He's going to be born in a bad neighborhood, especially if you by yourself, unless, of course, you got the quote-unquote bag, but your $40,000, yeah, good luck in Chicago. But now you brought this child in a dilapidated situation. You think it's going to work out well for him? Or you think it's going to work out bad for him? That's something to think about.
Have two parents in the home. Fast forward 25 years later, in 1986, you had at least 50% of the households being led by women. And nowadays it's much worse. It's very apparent that this single parent crisis, it just didn't come out of anywhere. In 2022, women are becoming single mothers at a higher rate. Majority of them still choosing the wrong men to have babies with. Just like the first guy. He was running around sounding like a Ray who didn't care how many women he got pregnant. And for whatever reason, even today, not only are women choosing to lay down with the wrong men, but they keep saying they have no control over getting up pregnant.
Whoa. Why is Nick Cannon there? Nick Cannon, I believe, takes care of his children, though. Now, I don't know about that visitation thing. How many kids does Nick Cannon have? Real quick, can somebody put that in the comment section? How many children does Nick Cannon have? I think he got quite a few. He out here yanking and banging, for real. He out here yanking and banging. But would you consider him a scally? I don't think Nick's a scally. These women know what they getting. A lot of them just do it for the bag. Yeah, I think a lot of them just doing it for the bag, and that needs to stop too. As long as these women are allowed to get pregnant and get all this money from these rich athletes and superstars and these whatever insert entertainer here, because those are only millionaires that we mostly have that they want to draw attention to for some reason. But as long as they can get pregnant by them and be set, will still continue to have babies born single mothers, even though he's there, but that's not your husband. That's not the way God intended. God intended for us to be mother and father in the home with the children. Now, we know things happen. Life does happen. I understand that. You may have had a child, and that's no knock on you. But what I'm saying is these women have a different mindset where I don't need no man or whatever. That's just stupid, goofy. He lost the baby last year. I know, that was sad.
This is Newark, New Jersey, one of America's inner cities. Inner city is a polite name for ghetto, as in black ghetto. Those of us who don't live in the ghetto are brought here usually by television, and usually only when there are pictures to show. But we have to come here if you want to understand those fearsome statistics about the vanishing black family. A lot of white families are in trouble too. Single parent families are twice as common in America today as they were 20 years ago. But for the majority of white children, family still means a mother and a father. This is not true for most black children. For them, things are getting worse. Today, black teenagers have the highest pregnancy rate in the industrial world. And in the black inner city, practically no teenage mother gets married. That's no racist comment. What's happening goes far beyond race. Why then do so many teenage girls get pregnant and have children? Why do so many fathers abandon their families? The answers begin with the people here. They told us what happens to family when mothers are children, fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school.
That was a very strong statement right there. This is what happens to families when mothers are children, fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school. Now, the teen birth rate, it's been declining in the U.S. since 1991, but I still believe the women of the 50s and the 60s, they seem to be a lot more mature, more practical compared to millennials and Gen Z.
It is the beginning of another school day in Newark, New Jersey. Another day of class for Clorinda Henderson. She is 17 and had hoped to graduate from high school next year, but that was before the birth of her baby.
I dreamed that having a little baby, you could just cuddle in your arms, just hug all the time, kiss on it, smell it, because it's so sweet. I thought it'd be fun until I had it.
The reality's different?
The reality just punched me right in the eye. I had to.
She said she thought it'd be fun. She thought it'd be this and that and whatever, right? Where were her parents to tell her that it's not? Where was her mom to tell her that it wasn't? And her grandmother or anybody else? Why aren't they stepping up? I mean, we could put the blame on some of the dads that's not here. That's true. But your mom lived there with you. She's 17 years old. Doesn't look like she may not be living alone. Where was your mom to tell you, hey, you shouldn't have a baby. You too young or whatever. Give it up for adoption. Because believe it or not, that's a great option. But a lot of them don't want to do that. And you know, for whatever reason, I'm not knocking that, but that's still an option. But where was your mom to tell you, hey, this ain't about to be a bed of roses. It's about to be tough. I would never let my daughter think that it's going to be a very easy thing or it's going to be fun. Why would it be fun? I think my mama, she would tell you wasn't nothing fun about raising you, smart aleck mouth little cuss you. I mean, I wasn't bad, but yeah, my mouth was a little flip and I used to think I could get away with everything. No, it wasn't nothing fun about that. There's nothing fun about being a parent. It's something, it's admirable. It's honorable. It's a responsibility, but it's not fun. It's pleasurable. It can be pleasurable, especially when your children are doing well, but fun? I don't think that's the word I would have used. But then again, agreed. It may have been a cycle. Mom too. You're right. You're right, Susan. Let's go.
Pinch myself and see if I was here because I was like, this is too much.
Clorinda was only 15 when she got pregnant with her daughter, Shaquana. She is not a...
We got to stop with these names, y'all. For real. We got to stop with these names. Lord.
Usual. Half of all black teenagers become pregnant. Clorinda has never been married. She's still living with her mother at home, where she's raising her baby daughter. Clorinda goes to a special school for dropouts after she takes her daughter to a daycare center. She has 5th grade math skills and reads at a 6th grade level.
When I got pregnant, I said, well, I'm going to have this baby, and she's not going to stand in the way of my education. I'm not going to let no one stand in the way of my education. I ain't going to be like these other girls, just drop out, can't get no job, no money, have to be on welfare.
Ready. On the vocabulary. Bingo. Miranda learned about birth control in sex education courses, but she still became pregnant. You think it was a mistake?
Well, I'll say no.
I like how she just told the truth. It wasn't a mistake. You have so many people, both women and men, walking around talking about everything was a mistake. There's no way that we can have these high numbers by mistake, especially when the people of today consider themselves to be more educated than the previous generations.
Because I wasn't on any, birth control methods. Neither was he. And, we were sexually active and...
Okay, I'm going to ask this question. We're going to move on. Just a short question, D-Crew. Check this out. Do you think we need to teach sex education in church, which would include birth control and condoms? Do you think that's something that we need to teach in church? Just yes or no. Do you think this is something that we need to talk about in church? Sex education, condoms, birth control. Turn it up a little bit. On what? On my mic? I'm kind of hot here. Pause. Okay. Do you think that's something that we need to talk about? Birth control, condoms. Never mind, it's good. Yeah, I think it was just over there. I don't want to blow y'all ears out. This mic ain't no joke. But yeah, is that something that we need to talk about? Birth control. Is there a talk for church? Because yes, I think so. I think we do, Jonathan. Okay. I think so too. I think we passed that point. It's just a whole lot of smashing fest going on. Everybody just yanking and banging, everything under the sun. Meanwhile, everybody's getting pregnant and everything's happening and we're just sweeping it under the rug. I think it's about time. I really do. Because obviously it wasn't enforced at home in this case because she still got pregnant.
When it happened, it just happened.
I think I'm able to keep it clean, Scylla. I think. I think.
When you think back to that day when you learned you were pregnant, what went through your mind?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna tell my mother. And I'm gonna tell my mother, she gonna make me get up. I was really scared, I think.
Why didn't you want to get an
Because I wanted his baby.
What did you like about him?
His legs.
His legs.
She didn't want because her mom was going to tell her to get an abortion. Yeah, you just can't make this up, y'all.
I got a thing for bow-legged boys.
Bow-legged boys.
I love them. They have some gorgeous legs. I just don't know.
Yes, you heard right. She said that she wanted to have his baby. She had a thing for guys with bow legs. 2 months after she had her baby, she got pregnant by him again. But this time, she said that she couldn't handle a second child, so she got rid of it. Both of them teenagers, both of them living at home with their mothers, no father around. The teen mom, she received welfare, but the money went to her mother. And now the child they had together, she's 38 years old. The woman profiled here, she was a single mother, her mother was a single mother, and her grandmother was a single mother.
Your grandmother.
That was a generational thing right there. Somebody said that earlier. I wish I could scroll up to see it. But yeah, that was a generational thing. Her grandmother was a single mother. Her mom was a single mother. And she is a single mother. Nobody broke that generational thing. And it just continued on and on. And this happens a lot. This actually does happen a lot. Because the grandmother probably showed them. And now you got this. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I can have a baby. Meanwhile, you living in Newark, New Jersey. Now, I was in Newark, Jonathan. Did I see you when I was there with Ricky? But yeah, you in Newark, and I knew. Have y'all ever noticed this? And I'm gonna move on. Have you ever noticed that no matter where you go in this country, if you travel the country like I have, you go to different states or whatever, right? I can always tell when it's a black neighborhood without seeing the face. They all look the same. They all look the same. We need to stop this cycle. And it really stops with us being educated on what's happening to our community with all these babies and no fathers. But here we go.
Was a single woman with a child. Your mother, a single woman with a child. Now you. Why is that happening?
I really didn't plan on getting pregnant, but if I really had somebody to really sit down and talk to, like really express my feelings to them, I don't think none of this would have happened. And then when it did happen, my grandmother's like, I told you this, I told you this. Tell me nothing.
Now let's have this talk. I can't relate to this because I had a relationship with my father, but I'm sure there are some women, ladies here that this was very real to you. A lot of our women, they are in these situations because the mom pretty much wasn't a mother to them. They were more of a schoolhouse or a school teacher or whatever. When you brought them something, especially those of us who grew up in church. You know, our mother, especially if they were deep in church, you would get excoriated, you'd be castigated, you'd be condemned and judged and thrown in the water 3 times with 3 Hail Marys or whatever, 3 say, thank you, Jesus, a million times, and then you're okay. But there was no real embracing of what was going on in your mind, the things that you deal with. Girls, little young girls, the stuff that you deal with. You got young boys, some of you were sexually molested. You're scared to go to your mom and talk to them because everything was, oh, let's just pray about it, or it's your fault, look how you dress, or whatever. That needs to stop as well. That is something that needs to stop as well. I've heard these stories. These young girls are crying out for their moms to be moms. Don't be my pastor, be my mom. Don't be my pastor, be my dad. I literally heard that today and almost brought me to tears. Because even though it happened a long time ago to this person, I could feel the pain in what she was saying. You need to be a parent to your child. And that means when they get older, have these discussions with them. They are feeling things in their bodies that you can relate to. Why won't you talk to your daughters? Lead her in the path of quote unquote righteousness, which means you teach her about life. You don't pray this stuff away. You need to have a discussion with your children. She would not have been pregnant had she had that conversation with her mom. She would not have been pregnant. She would have thought better of it. But she really didn't have a mom. This girl was raising herself. And this is what happens time and time again. I bet you, if you could be honest, some of these ladies that's watching this, maybe not now, but later on, you had a disconnect with your mom. You had a disconnect with your father. And some decisions that you made when you were teenagers and young adults, you probably wouldn't have made had they been there for you. I know my parents were there, but in some ways, yeah, it was that way sometimes. So I can't imagine if your parent was really non-existent. Everything, especially in church, we have it the worst. Everything, we just gonna pray about it. Everything, we just gonna pray. And prayer is good. I just said that. Prayer is good. Family Bible studies are good. But talking to your children, talking to them, the same passion that I'm having right now, you need to sit down with your daughter. Baby, what is going on with you? Let's talk. If your daughter doesn't feel she can come to you and talk to you about everything, when she shuts down, she's going to make every mistake in the world. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to punish her for it. And that's not right. And that's not right. That needs to stop, ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you feel that pain. Your mom wasn't there. It happens so much in church, I can't even count. It happens so much where you just feel like we can pray. Girls crying. Some girls got raped. Don't even feel like they can talk to their mama because it's going to turn into a Bible lesson. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. And this is another reason why I feel sexual molestation and sexual whatever assault happens so much. And it's right up under our rug because everything now turns biblical. You know what they did in the Bible when you did it, right? You died. So you really want to bring the Bible into this? I don't really think you do. But y'all don't want that. Y'all want to say, well, let's just pray about it because you don't want to be a mom because it makes you uncomfortable. But that's part of being a parent. You have to have uncomfortable conversations with your children because you have to lead them. That's unacceptable. See, look, this shouldn't happen. Look at what Susan said. The threat was a threat versus educating. It's not an easy discussion, but it needs to happen with our children with love. I absolutely agree, Susan. I absolutely agree. You are absolutely right. We need to stop this cycle. Because here's the thing. These are the ones leading. They're the head of the household at 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old with children, head of the household. They had sex with a boy that they didn't even want to marry. And at 19, 18, 19, I can tell you right now, these scallies ain't trying to marry you. Because here's the thing that y'all not thinking about. The 17, 18, 19, they are children of single moms. So they don't know what a man is like either. They don't have a man around. And some of them men are scallywags themselves. It's going to repeat and repeat and repeat until somebody puts an end to the chain and says, it stops now. Let's do something about it. Period. Let's go.
Nobody told Darren anything either. He too lives at home with his mother.
Both of them young, both of them being honest about their situation. Neither one of them had guidance from a man, but they're in their 50s now. So hopefully they gave more direction to their bloodline so that they could break those patterns. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. We're living in a day and age where everything is flipped upside down. What are we to do to turn things back around? Also, this was 36 years ago, still in the very early stages of women talking about they didn't need a man. Fast forward decades later and their granddaughters, they are getting the same results. Is it possible for millennials to change? Or should we focus more on the younger generation? Special thank you to Vaughn. I appreciate you, Vaughn, for all of your support for this channel, as well as the brothers.
Her name is Pink. Was it Pink Book Lessons? Make sure you go over to her page. She has some very good content, y'all. She has some very good content. And I enjoyed this one, especially because it hit home for me. Because I see this. I see this. I'm in childcare. I see a lot of this. And I see some of my friends' conversations, some people that are very close to me, some people I love, they have conversations. And I don't want, listen, I know the pain. Like I said, this conversation messed me up. Bad part about it, she doesn't know it, but it messed me up. I felt so bad for her. Because I can hear the pain in her voice. That needs to stop. Children having children. And like even today, I just heard it. I don't need no man. These men, they all dogs or whatever. Come on, just stop. And here's the one thing you need to consider. Maybe it's your choice of men that needs to be evaluated too. Because you don't want to go, you shun the dudes that look like this because he's ugly. But because you want to go with the ones with the bow legs. And then you end up with a baby and he don't want to have nothing to do with you or the baby. Now you alone and the cycle continues. So you can say you don't want a man. I wish we would stop saying that. Let me say this. I love women. I need women. You complete us in ways we can't imagine. You are supposed to be our support system. We're not going to argue with you. We're not going to fight with you, especially if you're a hood bandit or a silverback. You're going to win those fights anyway if you're a silverback. You just throw us off the ropes, crush us, and clothesline us, come off the top rope, splash, 1, 2, 3. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. It was very educational. I do like hanging with the D crew. You guys, you could have been anywhere, but you are here, and I thank you. I thank you. I hope you have silverbacks, man. Listen, hey, silverbacks is bad. Single parent is not where it's at. Okay. I lived that, and I want it different. I thank God I'm married. And I absolutely love you and your husband, Aria. Don't forget to send me your Zelle information or your Cash App, okay? But I absolutely love you. And I think you are a wonderful person. I think you are making a great mom, and I think you're making a wonderful wife. And I'm very, very happy for you. Okay? I really am. Hey, Ashley. How you doing, sweetheart? But this hit home with me. And we're going to be having a lot more of these conversations like this because it opens up the dialogue. And I hope that you can share this with everybody else and you guys can talk and have good intellectual conversations. And let's not turn it into an argument where it's a battle between men and women. That's enough. If it's not, if these conversations are not fruitful, then just don't have them. It needs to come to an end where it's something that can be grasped from it and you can learn from it and develop a better relationship with the people that you're talking about. Okay? All right. So I do love you. Let's see. Hey, listen, I'm snowed in. Might be snowed in for the next couple of days. So if y'all want me to do some more of these conversations or whatever, Preachers Gone Wild will always happen every week. So yeah, but I love you guys. Can you please repeat the name of her page? I think it's Pink Book Lessons. Let's see. I'm gonna have to start this over again. I think it's Pink Book Lessons. Pink Book Lessons. Y'all like my background? Not my African background. I like this. This is nice, man. I saw this online, and I'll be featuring a lot of Black art when I go live for the month of February. I'll be doing one or whatever, and we'll be doing this month, okay? But anyway, I love you. I'm gonna jump off of here. I'm about to go eat me another salad and finish some salad. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I hope you guys be safe and love on somebody. Yeah, that is dope, Ashley. Love on somebody. Tell somebody you love them. Don't go to sleep tonight unless you tell somebody you love them. That's a promise you need to make to me, and I'm going to hold you to that because I love every last one of you, okay? Take care. I love you. Good night.